Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Darkest night. Hello. We haven't seen you in so long. It's so lovely to have you here. And I'm so pissed off that you're here tonight. This is not fair. Um, oh no, Darkest, that's terrible. You don't get no sleep when you're in there. Wow, 12 days. Yikes. Well, today isn't going to make it any better. So, did you ever have like, for those who read books, did you ever have a really good book and you're trying to read it and you're trying to get through it, but you keep falling asleep while you're trying to read it? And then you have to like start over and get into it and read it and then you fall asleep. Okay. I got off work today and let me tell you, I drank 24 cups of coffee, two full pots of coffee today while I was work to make sure that I was awake. But I got off work today and I kept falling asleep. So I was trying very hard to get court videos together, but I kept falling asleep. So I got some stuff today, but I have no idea what I got because I would like hear one little part of it and I think, oh, that's a little interesting. Maybe I'll grab that. And then 2 hours later, I'd wake up and I'd be like, oh, sugar. Oh, man, I hope that was good because I'm, I'm using it. So today, we are probably going to be watching these together for the first and then we will end with Judge Fleischer. Trying to think if I have to remember to do something for anybody. I'm sure Fozzie would be yelling at me right now. If Clarice, I'm glad you're home. I hope you're getting a lot of sleep. MJD, one day at a time. And then, hold on. Someone gave me an update today, and I can't remember their name, but I was going to try to catch one of their court cases in Colorado. The first day they went to Colorado, it was canceled or something, so I didn't get their court date. So what happened was he killed her sister, and he got 9 years for it. 9 years. That is absolutely not enough. Oh, this is hard because I made shorts and then people commented on the shorts. Nope, not you. I just really, really, really want to say, but Susie McCollum thanked you for the membership, Monica. Susie, that was Monica, by the way. Pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. Nope. Nope. Yeah. That was me not preparing. You know who you are. I will find your name when there's a pause, when I can get off screen for a second. Um, Somebody sent me a Discord. No, it's a shirt. So Tommy only comes in on Wednesdays. So she came in Wednesday. I begged her to join and she didn't. But 4:30 in the morning is hard. However, let me tell you, she was married for like 700 years and he had just passed away recently. Um her I don't know, her daughter's husband's father just passed away last week. So I don't know what that makes her. I'm not even going to try to figure it out. Um she's had those are just two things. She's had a ton of things happen in the last year, and I really worry about her. I love her so much. So she didn't come in. 4:30's early. I suspect she's already up at 4:30 anyway. But yes, she was married to Joe. She is Job. Actually, everything's being taken away from her. So I'm gonna try to get her in here on this coming Thursday. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna beg her because I really, really, really think just talking to Nan alone. If she could just talk to Nana alone, just that one. Yeah. Yep. She won't ever say the F word, though. We'll see if we can get her and Nan swearing like sailors. Yes, it's good to have goals. All right, let's start this shit show. It's got to start. I'm actually going to start with one quick one, only because could you imagine going to jail and feeling, scared and are you gonna scared about what's gonna happen, what's going on with your case, scared about who your cellmate is, scared about, what your friends and family might think, scared about your job because you can't work and your bills, and then this happens. I this would kill me. This really would kill me.
Yeah, I am. Young lady at DDC, what's your name, ma'am?
Alexandra Antu.
Miss Antune, I'm sorry, but you were taken off the list. I'm sorry, ma'am, but you can step aside.
What does that mean, though? I don't get to see.
That means you're not going to be arraigned, ma'am.
So what does I mean? It's getting dropped.
No, you're not going to be arraigned here, ma'am.
I'm being taken to the county. I didn't even do anything.
No, you're not going to the county, ma'am. You're not going, ma'am. DDC.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, let me tell you, Miss Antune, she is assault and battery. Assault and batteries are not on the list. Only domestic violence misdemeanors.
Did you see how she jumped to the worst conclusion immediately? Well, no, first she jumped to the best conclusion. What? They're dropping the case? Then she immediately jumped to the worst conclusion. Oh my God, I'm being sent to county? Oh no. And it wasn't either of those things. She went from one to the other. I would have immediately jumped to the worst conclusion. Oh my gosh, I'm going to death row. It was a $5 bill. I didn't know it was fake. I'm going to death row. Oh man. Yeah, well, maybe she was walking on the sidewalk and there was a crack in it, or one of them was a little higher than the other. She tripped and she fell on the other lady by accident. And the other lady called the police and said it was assault and battery, and she's in jail right now, but we don't know this because we haven't seen the evidence yet. I mean, I agree she assaulted and battered someone very hard. Hi, Sandra. You're early. Okay, I'm going to jump into the unknown first because I can't stand wondering. This is the video. I fell asleep. I just pressed record and immediately my eyes were closed. So I press record all the time and don't use it. If I see something I think I maybe might want a little bit, I press record to see if it gets better. So we're going to go through 27 minutes. And I think we're going to be fine. I think this is going to be a good video because this judge is always entertaining. I call this my sleep video. Please don't fall asleep right now, guys, though, okay? Drink some coffee or something. Ritalin, get some Ritalin, right? That does wake you up, right, Ritalin? Or does Ritalin put you to sleep, calm you down? Oh, Nan. Nan's not here. My favorite druggist is not here. I'm looking for a nurse. Lori, Ritalin, does it wake you up or does it make you go to sleep? You know what? We shouldn't trust people on the internet. We should just all take it ourselves to find out what it does.
Mr. Gray was here before you showed up trying to work that out. Just wanted to let him know.
This is the not Judge Van. I don't understand. I keep looking at this court and I never ever see Judge Van. I'm starting to think people made him up and he's a myth.
I think I did tell him that, didn't I? Randall Johnson is next. Mr. Johnson, good morning. Mr. Johnson, you're here For first appearance, excuse
All Fozzie wanted was zombies, and you gave it to him. You're so nice.
one count of battery, one count of witness tampering or victim tampering, and one count of obstructing an officer without violence. Mr. Johnson, there is probable cause for those 3 charges in the complaint. I looked at your criminal history, which is fairly lengthy, out of another state.
I'm getting mixed signals from chat. See, that's why I don't know what Ritalin does.
Mr. Johnson, let me see if the attorneys have any additional information before I address your bond. Mr. McDaniel, anything on behalf of Mr. Johnson?
No, I mean, I thought the tampering was kind of weak, but I don't have anything. I'm not saying there's not probable cause there.
I read it twice. I may have read it 3 times because I had the same concern. And I think there's enough there for probable cause. I have no idea if the state will go forward with it. The allegation is that allegedly she was reaching for her phone to call law enforcement and he kicked her pocket and knocked the phone out of her pocket. It may have meant out of her hand, but it says pocket. So that I'm probably going to set a misdemeanor bond on the tampering, even though it's a felony charge. Are you here for that case, sir? In your relationship? Let me tell him who's here, then I'll be glad to listen to you. Mr. Oswald, yes, Mr. Oswald.
No, Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson, your son is in the courtroom, first of all, and he wants to say something. Yes, sir. Hey, if you will come up here, because I want him to hear what you say also. Just anywhere up here. That way he can hear you. And thank you for coming.
Absolutely. And his baby mother, the one that the situation occurred with.
First off, he's wearing orange too, which is just lovely that he's supporting his father like that. Second off, he came up and said his baby mother. My kids will never come up to a judge while I'm in cuffs and say, oh, yeah, her baby father over there. Oh, dear Lord.
Is outside with the kid, outside the courtroom.
The alleged victim's outside?
Yes.
Okay.
And so she can come in, I can hold the kid up, and she can explain everything that happened. There was alcohol involved. I wasn't home. But
let me ask you this. I'm going to listen to her. So do you have anything that you have personal knowledge of before we get y'all to trade places?
no, that's why I came here today. Make sure they got to speak their side, because I wasn't there. I don't know what all these charges were attaining. He was walking down the road.
If you weren't there, you don't know.
Yeah, right. That's
I need, if you know something, I want to hear it. But if you just know what somebody's told you, it's useless to me. If you want to trade places to her, I'm glad to listen to her.
I was going to let her come in.
Well, great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And if she wants to come in, I'm assuming she does.
I'm going to let her come
her
in.
name?
What? What did he just say?
Okay, thank you.
Muted that there for you. Yeah.
At that point in time, Sanders stated that Randall kicked her back pocket, knocking her cell phone out and depriving her of use of her phone. So it's kind of hard to imagine how he kicked her pocket, but that's what the complaint says.
Could be a loose pocket maybe or something.
So, ma'am, I've been advised you're the alleged victim of Mr. Johnson's.
No. This is all, he's innocent. He's 100% innocent, guys. He needs to be let out of jail immediately. We should go bust him out because girls don't get pockets. Girls don't get pockets in their pants.
Case, and you have some things you want to say. Is that correct?
Yes.
And your name?
Margaret Sandals.
Okay, Miss Sanders, I've read the complaint, so I know what the complaint says. Anything you want to add or make sure we're aware?
That's why my subscribers drop. That's exactly why.
Please let me know.
He did actually kick my pocket and kick my phones out, but he did not actually kick me.
So your hand was in the process of pulling the phone out of your pocket?
No, I said, he stated, go ahead and call the police, because he had been saying it. And I said, no, I got my phones, but I'm not calling the police. And I was standing there, he was standing in the doorway. And because I was like, I just put my phone, had just put them in when he was saying it. And he kicked them straight out of my pocket.
What kind? You have loose pockets on this?
Yeah, they had the button down.
Okay.
On the top, the flap down, and the flap wasn't buttoned.
Okay, so let me read you what the complaint says, because that's not what you're telling me. What the complaint says, you told the officer, according to what the officer's version, is you said that Randall began throwing things at Sanders, including a heavy glass candle. Sanders advised that once Randall began throwing things, she stated she was going to call the police. She stated she was going to call the police and attempted to retrieve her cell phone from her back pocket. At that point in time, Sanders stated, this is twice now, he's saying you said this.
Yeah.
Sanders stated that Randall kicked her back pocket, knocking her cell phone out and depriving her of using her phone. Sanders stated that this time she saw an opportunity.
Guys, if Drunken Smurf and Darkest Night start lining jokes up together, we're all in trouble. We're never going to make it to the end of the stream. Grab tissues.
To grab her 2-year-old child and ran out of the house.
Okay. When I stated I was going to call the police was before he said, go ahead and call the police. This was 30 seconds to 90 seconds before when I stated to back up, I was going to call the police. When he kicked my phone, he was saying, go ahead and call the police. And no, I'm not. I was just trying to get him to get away from the glass doors to well, because I already had Harrison the whole time. I never let him go.
How long have y'all been together as a couple?
5 years.
Okay. And
6.
his history from the state of, I believe it may have been Georgia, North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Is long.
Oh, how long? Can you tell me all that? I might need to know something. I'm finding new stuff out. Like
you might should know before you start dating with somebody. You got a youngin with him, a child with him? Yeah, you might should find that out.
Oh, yeah, I did my research. I just didn't find out.
He's got stuff. Well, I don't know if he's got anything in the last 5 years. He's got a lot of stuff in North Carolina, probably 8 or 10 arrests. So I'm going to set him a bond either way. I'm sorry, not going to give him a conditional release with this kind of history because there certainly is probable cause for all 3 charges, but especially the
I hate when my baby mama finds out I got a past with lots of convictions. I just hate it. Some of them are felonies, but that was before her. I'm trying now. I'm doing good.
The resisting officer without violence is pretty blatant according to the complaint. Anything else you want me to know?
Not really. I mean, he did kick my phones out. He did not actually, like, if he touched my butt cheek, it wasn't enough. But as for swinging on me or anything, he didn't do that. He was throwing stuff. But as for...
Let me see if that's the actual battery charge. Is the battery charge that act, or is it something else? Let's see.
There was unfinished.
Let him look real quick and he'll ask you.
I don't know if this is a typo or not. Did he accuse you of having a relationship with an animal?
Yes.
It's 11-year-old dog.
Yes.
Why?
Three-legged.
What's the relevance of 11? What's the relevance of the age? Why would that be in there?
He's been around him since he was 2 years old. He's been around him for 7 years now, and he's still.
Okay. The only alleged contact with you in this complaint is the act of kicking your pocket. He's not accused of hitting you or anything. So he had to come into contact with your pocket to knock the phone out,
yeah,
right?
He did.
Okay.
See, the officer said.
So let me ask you this question, ma'am. Has there been an altercation where law enforcement's been called in the past between you and he? You're shaking your head. Yes. I don't know if he can see you shake your head because on the camera. How long has that been?
A little over 2 years.
Has it been more than once or just once?
More than once.
Okay. Okay. That's all I need to know. Mr. Mitchell, any questions for Ms. Saunders?
No, but I'll just tell her that if you want to step across the hall to our office and fill out a victim impact statement, you're free to do that when you leave.
Victim impact statement where you give your thoughts and inputs on what you want to have happen with the case.
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're familiar with that. Mr. McDaniel, any questions?
Are you asking for contact or anything like that, or no contact?
With all due respect, it doesn't matter, ma'am. I'm not going to allow contact anyway with multiple prior charges, multiple prior incidents. The answer is no contact. So even if you ask for it, I'll be there.
Okay, Florida. However, do you hear the accent? So I'm going to say Northern Florida or South Georgia. But no, this court is in Florida. It's the 14th district. It's the court that Judge Van does. He's just, again, not here.
Bad guy. So your bond is $2,500 on each of these card charges. This is a $7,500 bond total. Mr. Johnson, no contact with the alleged victim. Mr. Johnson, I'm not putting a condition of no contact with your child, okay, because there's no allegations. The child's not even mentioned. But there is a condition of no contact with you. So some third person wants to exchange a child exchange, that's between y'all. But no contact, at least for the time being. Do you have any questions, ma'am? Mr. Johnson, do you have any questions, sir?
No,
Have a
sir.
good day, sir.
Happy birthday, Harrison.
That's the child.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
Her
happy
birthday was-
birthday.
All right. Thank you. His birthday's today.
No, the 24th.
I just know I'm gonna be there for him.
Well, Mr. Johnson, it's not his fault. Gary Powell is next.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Mr. Powell, come on up. Mr. Powell, you're here for first appearance. Sir, accused of one count of trespass after warning. Mr. Powell, Corporal, I didn't know he was on the docket today because actually I had this letter from Corporal Smith that he was uncooperative. It came with today's packet, but apparently this relates to yesterday. Am I reading that right, Corporal?
Yes, sir. It was the night before.
Okay, if y'all will send this, because he should have made the first appearance docket yesterday, but based on what this letter from Corporal Smith says, he didn't come to first appearance yesterday because of his condition. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So I didn't know anything about this, so I need y'all to send this the day that he's supposed to come to first appearance, not the next day, please. That's how y'all normally do it. So I got it this morning, and I thought it was for today, but actually he appears to be fine today. So Mr. Powell, you're here for first appearance, sir. You've been accused of one count of trespass after warning. Mr. Powell, there is probable cause for the charge, and I've been advised this morning, we have actually two Gary Powells on the same docket, same week. But I've been advised that this Gary Powell is out on bond in a felony case. Is it a felony case? Okay. So, Mr. Powell, I'm going to appoint the public defender's officer to represent you in this trespass charge. Listen to Mr. McDaniel, your attorney, please.
Your Honor, at this point in time, he's in plea of no contest to charge of trespass. Understanding he was sent 3 days in county jail, he has 2 days jail credit, he has $300 fine. He has waived his right to jury trial. Buddy.
2 days credit. Thank you, Mr. McDaniel. Mr. Mitchell's at agreeable with the state.
It is, Your Honor.
Mr. Powell, did you hear that potential plea agreement on the misdemeanor charge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Powell, is that the plea that you would like to enter to resolve that misdemeanor case?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Powell, I'm going to accept your plea of no contest in the misdemeanor charge of trespass. The judge of guilty sentence you to 30 days in jail. Give you credit for 3 days you've already served and post court costs and fines in the standard amount of $370. Mr. Powell, when you finish, did I miss something there?
It may have been 2 days credit.
Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. 2 days credit. Sorry about that. Mr. Powell, you finish that 28 days you have left, you'll be through with that case. Mr. Powell, you are on bond apparently, and I'm going to get that case number. Do you want to have that handy?
49498.
Couldn't hear, I'm sorry.
498 CF.
Mr. Powell, you're on bond. It appears in 24498 CF. Let me just double check the date you're put on bond and make sure that case is still pending, hasn't been dismissed or resolved in some manner. And I got that case coming up now. Possession of controlled substance on bond less than a month ago. So I'm going to revoke that bond in 24498 CF. So Mr. Powell, you'll come to court on that case. I can probably tell you your next court date. Let's see. Actually, Mr. Mitchell, he was arrested, first appeared on September 18th. The state has not filed information yet. So please let the prosecutor know that he's in jail with no bond. So they need to make a charging decision and get him on the docket. So I can't give you a court date because you don't have one right now, but hopefully you'll get one very soon. If you've got no bond, in that case, Mr. Mitchell, I need an order revoking his bond sent to me, please. Mr. Powell, do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. This pertaining to the same thing for the unlawful arrest. The same officer arrest me for the unlawful arrest that you dropped. You dropped the unlawful arrest.
Hi, Bobby.
Okay, hang on just a second then. Let me look at that. Is this one I found no probable cause?
An unlawful arrest
No.
on September 9th.
No, that's a different case. This is possession of methamphetamine. This is not the one I found no probable cause on. This one was not on the 9th. This one was on the, hang on a second. I can tell you when this one was. It's just, this was on the 13th. So the 9th, there was no probable cause. The 13th, you got arrested for meth. I found probable cause, or some judge did. Set your bond, you posted it, and now you're arrested again for the third time in less than 3 months, less than 2 months.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm arrested for now pertaining to the one that was on September 9th. On the unlawful arrest was the same officer that arrested me.
But even if the arrest was unlawful, they still have the right to give you a trespass warning, which is what they say they did, and that you allegedly went back over there.
And I
So the
thought
arrest has nothing to do with the trespass warning.
And when the case was thrown out on the 6th of November, I thought everything would go back normal.
Now, I have no idea why you think of throwing the case out would have anything to do with the trespass warning being thrown out.
That wasn't even a trespass charge. That was an indecent exposure charge.
Yeah, that was indecent exposure. That was one urinating in public that the case law says you can't.
Well, that got
can't charge
dark.
for. So they don't want you back on that property. They give you a trespass warning, and that's what the state's allegations are. That's actually what you just pled to. Any questions, Mr. Powell?
So with the bond, I promised my dad I want to share all this money, man. Please don't. I mean.
Yeah, I'm absolutely revoking your bond. You got
bond
arrested 3 times in less than 2 months, Mr. Powell. It's a no-brainer. Yeah, your bond is revoked. No-brainer. You got something going on in your life. Apparently, you got methamphetamine. It appears you have a methamphetamine problem, and if so, then that's the underlying issue that needs to be dealt with. But you've got no bond, Mr. Powell. No doubt about it. Wish you the best.
And I got 2 more cases in. I got a case on Goodway in Alabama too, sir.
I don't know what you just said. You talked too fast.
He said he's got another case in Alabama, which we called it.
Yes, you got one.
I got cases I'm dealing with in Alabama too. I just going out on.
You got no bond in Florida. I wish you the best, sir. After Mr. Powell, we have Christopher Davis. Mr. Davis, good morning. You have a holdout of Holmes County, Mr. Davis. I pulled it up this morning to see what it was for, and it is a warrant that has no bond on the warrant. Now, when I say no bond, what I mean is they don't have no bond checked. They just don't have a bond there. And when I see that, what that means is when you get back to Holmes County, the first appearance judge will review the case, and you may get a bond then or you may not. But on the warrant itself, the line that says bond is left blank. So we'll let the local judge deal with it. You may get a bond when you get over there. They may determine you're not entitled to a bond. But you got a hold from Holmes County. Any questions, Mr. Davis?
No, sir.
All right, sir. Wish you the best. After Mr. Davis, we have Mary Hill. I may be saying that wrong. Ms. Hill, good morning. You're here for first appearance, ma'am, accused of driving under the influence. Ms. Hill, ma'am, there is probable cause in the complaint. Ms. Hill, the criminal history I've got shows someone with your name. It says that you have a prior DUI charge in 2001 in the state of Georgia. Let's see if I can tell you what county. Colquitt, Georgia.
Yeah, that's not.
And then,
I've never been charged.
Hang on just a second. Let me finish, ma'am. Okay. And that you pled no contest on that charge in 2002 in Miller County. And I guess Miller County may be the same that Colquitt is in. Mr. McDaniel is saying that may not be you.
That's right. Yeah.
You've never been charged with DUI before anywhere, is that correct?
No, that's correct.
Have you ever been arrested for any crime anywhere?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, so let me take a closer look at this.
I believe her.
Social Security number. Social Security number is exactly the same. Date of birth is exactly the same. The height off by 2 inches. Okay. I think
Don't they have mug shots? Can't they look at the mug shot?
Mr. McDaniel, I think you were right when you said it. You thought it might be the one charge. Sometimes it gets duplicated. I think it's one count, and they put it in here the day she was charged, and they put it in here again the day she pled, whoever this person was. I know she's saying it wasn't her. All right, so Miss Hill, I've got 2 different addresses for you, so I need some more information for bond or release purposes. The jail sheet says you have a Donaldsonville, Georgia address, but the affidavit complaint says, well, it also says Donaldsonville, Georgia. One of the other cases had 2 different addresses. You live in Donaldsonville, ma'am?
Well, actually, I've moved to Mariana at 5025 Spruce Lane, but I have a home in Donaldsonville at 1304 Newcomb Avenue.
Okay, so this was that case. The pretrial release has a Spruce Lane address. So how long have you been living here?
About a year, right at a year. It has to do with, with my job.
You have a Georgia driver's license?
Uh-huh.
You haven't gotten a Florida driver's license yet?
Not yet.
Okay. And if I place you under oath and I ask you if this is you on this prior, you're going to tell me under oath the same thing you've already told me, that you've never been charged with DUI anywhere. Is that right?
That's correct.
That's really unusual, Ms. Hill. Okay. All right. So let's talk about your employment. Where do you work at?
I work for Credit Central Financial in Dothan,
What do you do
Alabama.
there? What do you
I am
do?
a loan specialist.
All right. Mr. McDaniel, anything else on behalf of Ms. Hill?
Your Honor, yeah, I spoke with her and she'll enter plea if you want to. What I suspect is, if she has one, it's been 25, 24 years ago, 23 years ago anyway. I'm taking her word for it. And she says, I thought she was pretty credible when I talked to her. She's never been arrested before, never been charged with anything.
If she had one, it would have been the same offer without the jail sentence, obviously, the standard DUI. Mr. Mitchell, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay.
And Mr. McDaniel, if she wants to do that, I'm fine with that.
I spoke with Ms. Hill, Your Honor, and at this point in time, she just wants to plead no contest and resolve the case and get it over with the understanding that she can be placed on probation for 11 months, 29 days, pay $1,078 in fines, 50 hours community service, minimum driver's license suspension. She'll take some AA classes while she's on probation, and she has signed her plea waiver form, waiving the right to a jury trial and call witnesses.
Thank you, Mr. McDaniel. Mr. Mitchell, is that agreeable with the state?
It is, Your Honor.
Ms. Hill, did you hear that agreement, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hill, do you have any questions about that agreement?
No, sir.
And Ms. Hill, is that the plea that you would like to enter?
Yes, I've never been in trouble before.
So she's just going to plead guilty, even though she says it wasn't her?
So I guess, I don't
If
know
you
what
don't
everything
wanna-
means, but
If you don't
I
want to
just-
do this, then that's okay. I'll give you a bond or a conditional release, one or the other, and then we'll
yeah,
see
I
it
want to
another
just
court
be
date.
able
If
to
you
go.
want, let me finish, ma'am. I cannot accept your plea unless you tell me this is what you want to do. So your choices are, say, I don't want to do this today. I want more time to look into this, to talk to my employer, to talk to Mr. McDaniel, talk to another attorney. That's up to you.
Yeah, I want to, I
Second
want to
choice,
talk
let me
to
finish,
the-
ma'am. Ma'am,
I'm sorry.
stop talking, please. That's your first choice. Your second choice is to say, I want to get it resolved today. I don't want to come back to court. I'm going to accept the probation, and that's a standard DUI probation. And if you complete it, then great. If you don't complete it, you could go to jail for violating your probation if it's a substantial violation. You have any questions about that choice, ma'am, between the not pleading and entering the plea today?
I just accept it.
That's what you want to do. Is that right?
Yeah, where I can go home. I got to go to work. Yes, sir.
And I spoke to her about that, and she said the same thing to me, and I said that you're gonna go home, or get a chance to go home no matter what. And I read it again to you, Ms. Hill. Is that the plea you want to enter? That's a yes or no, not I guess, or any other statements. Do you want to enter that plea?
Yeah.
You don't want to, that's fine.
Yeah.
Ms. Hill, you're making it sound like that's the only
Hi, Winnicky. Did I say that right?
way you go home, and that is absolutely not true. You can go home on a bond, possibly a conditional
Okay.
release, or stop interrupting me.
Oh.
Or if you want to plea, you can go home with the case resolved. You go home either way. So you can't say or imply that's the only way you go home. That's just not true.
Contempt of court. You ain't going nowhere.
Do you want to enter this plea that your attorney and I have laid out for you or not?
Yes.
I'm going to accept your plea of no contest to the charge of driving under the influence. A judge you guilty of that offense. I'm going to sentence you to 11 months and 29 days probation. You'll have all the standard conditions of probation. In addition to the standard conditions, Ms. Hill, you'll have a condition that you pay court costs and fines at the standard amount.
I don't share ice cream. Plus, there's chocolate in it, so the cat can't have any.
Which is $1,078. Successfully complete substance abuse counseling. That's required by Florida law. Successfully complete 50 hours of public service work. That's required by Florida law. I do recommend the minimum driver's license suspension. The state will decide what that is. You've got to complete DUI school. If you choose to do AA or instead of private counseling, then I'm going to put a cap on the AA counseling of 12 classes. Ms. Hill, here's what's going to happen next, ma'am. They're going to let you use the phone. The reason for that is in case you want to set up transportation. Once you use the phone, they'll let you get dressed in your regular clothes, and they'll bring you to the courthouse because that is where the probation office is at. When you're released, you'll meet with the probation officer. When you get here, that takes 5 or 10 minutes, and then you'll be free to go. If you call friends or family for transportation, tell them that you can be picked up at the courthouse, not at the jail, at the courthouse in roughly 45 minutes. Ms. Hill, do you have any questions?
No, I do not.
All right, man, we'll see you in a little bit. Timothy Stone.
Cats can't have chocolate. Darkest. Thank you. Okay, it's going to play my opening for a second because I need to see who's turning green. Oh, it didn't. Thank you, Darkest. Oh, slow down.
Mr. Stone, good morning. Mr. Stone, you're here because
Sally.
a judge, either myself or someone else, held you with your new charges for a possible violation of state probation hold. Mr. Stone, I see where the judge,
get down.
Judge Garcia has signed a no bond warrant in the VOP. Corporal, has that been served on him already?
Lucy.
The copy I had, I believe it was. Let me see.
Bam. Moxie
I
is.
believe it was served by, yes, sir. Debbie Corbin served it.
Okay, so let me go ahead and see Miss Brunson then at the same time so I can go through this with both of you. Miss Brunson, Tamika Brunson, your situation almost exactly the same. You were arrested for trespass. A judge held you to see if there was a violation of probation going to be filed. It has been. Both your cases, you have no bond. In both cases, the warrant signed by the circuit judge. So in both your cases, I'm going to go ahead and arraign you on the VOP case. That's the violation of probation case. The reason I'm doing that is I want to get you a lawyer appointed in that case. That's your more serious charge. Your violation of probation case is more serious than your other charges, I believe. I know it is in Ms. Brunson's case. Is his new case a misdemeanor or felony? Your new case, Mr. Stone, or cases is at least one felony, so that may be equally as serious. So if you tell me you want an attorney appointed to represent you, that's what we're going to do and get your cases moving. Mr. Stone, do you want an attorney appointed to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Brunson, you want an attorney appointed to represent you in your VOP?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent both of you. Please listen to Mr. McDaniel, and he's going to give you some more information.
It's probably best I was muted. I shouldn't have said that.
Your Honor, we're going to enter plea of not guilty. As I said, this on December 3rd court docket, and I advise on both Mr. Guy Green to speak with them prior to that hearing.
Thank you. Mr. Mitchell, is that agreeable with the state?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. So Mr. Stone, Ms. Brunson, Mr. Green will come see you before your court date, and you'll see Judge Garcia on December 3rd. Mr. Stone, any questions?
Yes, sir. Is there any way I could recommend Chrome and settle?
You can ask for that. Absolutely. You can ask for it. When you meet with your attorney, tell him what you're hoping and that you would like to see happen, and tell him what your specific needs are and why. And then he can relay that to the prosecutor. And if they're on the same page, or even if they're not on the same page, your attorney can relay that to the judge. So yes, sir, that needs to happen when you meet with your attorney. Okay.
Yes, sir.
He has one more question. How does he get a beard like that? How?
All right.
Does he have to use Prel?
Wish you the best. Ms. Bronson, any questions?
We have one other issue, Ms. Bronson.
No, sir.
Okay, Mr. McDaniel has one more thing in your case, Ms. Bronson.
Your Honor, in 24635 MM, she's entered plea of no contest in the charge of trespassing. You understand she'll assist 30 days in the county jail. She'll have 11 days jail credit. There'll be a $370 fine, and the state's agreed not to use the conviction itself against her in the violation of state probation.
I heard everything but the number of days in jail.
11
days, not the day credit, but the actual sentence.
30 days.
30 days. Mr. Mitchell, is that all agreeable with the state?
It is, Your Honor.
And Ms. Brunson, do you want to go ahead and end this plea and resolve this trespass case while you're waiting on the VOP?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Brunson, I'm going to accept the plea of no contest in that case number. The charge is trespass, ma'am. I'm going to adjudicate you guilty of that misdemeanor offense of trespass. I'm going to sentence you to 30 days in jail, give you credit for 11 days you've already served. I'm going to impose the court costs and fines. In that case, that'd be $370. Ms. Brunson, that'll resolve that case, ma'am. So by the time you get through with your felony, you should have that sentence served and be done with it. Did I miss anything, Mr. McDaniel?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Brunson, any questions?
No, sir.
Wish you the best, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Anybody else at the jail?
All right.
Nobody else at the jail. Corporal, anything else at the jail that you're aware of? Do we have anything this morning?
No.
Is that everything at the jail?
No, sir.
I would say that was a nice nap. I was getting content and napping. That's called multitasking, and it worked because that was okay. There was nothing wrong with those clips. Okay. Let's go to this judge. I like this judge. Nothing crazy happens in this court, but this judge is just so good.
Supposedly, and there are no corrections, alterations, or additions at this time. And we would ask for
So the audio is just not the best in this courtroom. I did try to fix it the best I could. You don't hear everything they say, but you hear everything the judge says, and then you hear enough of what they say.
the sunset.
Okay. Anything that you wish to add, Ms. Bosley? So why didn't you do the treatment that was ordered by Judge Jones?
I wasn't aware. It was all done over Zoom and everything was really confusing.
Well, what wasn't confusing was that it was not a mistake, was it?
Mm-hmm.
And why did you say it was a mistake?
I was just for that discussion.
So why are you doing this?
What happened? That's for sure.
Well, it is happening. That's the issue. If you were drug tested today, how would you test? Any history of drug use? Why are you test for levels with Dr. Paget?
Just to make sure that I'm taking the proper medication that is prescribed to me.
You remain compliant?
Yes, I do.
So, right. So then I'll highlight number 7, which is that you enroll with CST counseling. All right? Are we clear on that one? How are you going to address the fines and costs?
I am currently enrolled in school and I get money for that. So I'll be paying my fines and costs.
Money you use.
Whatever's left over that I have to pay back. So.
Report for relief. Judge Vogt fines everybody $25 for that, including himself.
Just please don't sit me on the
Well, adopt the recommendations. It is with 6 months probation. I think that is warranted given, this has happened once before within a year, basically. Plus you had that prior case in Gratiot County. So, all right. So as part of those conditions, you will have supervised probation, obviously. The fines, we'll deal with those at a later time. Time to pay, we'll start with 60 days, so not till after the first of the year. We do have the state fees that are assessed along with the oversight fees. Then
I will confess that I was not number 1 to hit the like button today. I'm normally number 1, but I was not today.
Random and refrains that will be explained to you by Ms. All right.
2762. Why? Is right.
Yeah. In the matter of People versus Rutz on 242762, appearances for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Aaron Coltrane on behalf of Mr. Rutz. To this matter, he's standing up my meeting.
All right. And why didn't he do the pre-sentence?
I believe he missed the September 23rd pre-sentence report. Mr. Rutz told me that he rescheduled, but you remember I called up and you said I had to do it in person. And that was for, wasn't it the 19th of October? Wasn't it for? after that, I called you and you said that I had to do it in person.
Well, yeah.
He thought he was rescheduled, Your Honor. He was
Gonna
actually.
find good cause to adjourn. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Good cause to adjourn. We're gonna reset. I see he's in on some other matters. It appears that we'll stay for those. So, we'll reset it. He can be interviewed in jail and we'll fit it in somewhere before the end of the month or first part of next month.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. People versus Wills, 243172. No Wills.
She called my office and said she forgot that she's on her way.
Alice, here today for the sentencing. We have reviewed the pre-sentence report. We believe it is accurate. We'd ask the court to follow the recommendation.
All right. Ms. Morales, anything that you wish to add?
No, sir.
Ms. Morales, why does your version not jive with the version of the witnesses or the tape?
I guess I don't. What do you mean by that?
Means what you told me here does not go along with what I read in the witness reports or what was identified in the videotape.
So I didn't narrow down the version of events. However, all of which what I said was true. None of that is not true. A lot of what I read on the actual police report or the victim's statement was not quite what happened. Obviously, it takes to be completely what happened.
So why are you minimizing on your actions? Do you know the victim?
No, I do not.
All right. Well, then I think, did I read that you were within the employment program at your employer?
Yes, so
Yeah.
we have what we call changed. They changed it over to calms. And I've got one more,
Okay.
well, two now for this year left. And then next year I get 12 free consultations.
So what we'll do is adopt the recommendations identified. Although I don't know, was the restitution correct?
What's this, $10?
No, that's what I thought. Got to ask you that.
I have $10, Your Honor.
If the people wish to have a restitution hearing, adopt the recommendations, and then time to pay. We'll start with 60 days, and you just need to continue and show proof that you're in treatment.
I think she's got a bond to cover the fines and costs.
It covers the fines and costs.
Thank you.
If his audio is better, we would have him all of the time because he always has comments, always. Oh, she's definitely, absolutely, definitely not watching. My children do not think I'm funny at all. They're quite annoyed with me, really. Yeah, Linus is home yesterday.
Sure, you're fine. Sit in the front row. You're good.
The matter, and now I understand also that there are other civil matters, which was the reason for
Okay, this one, guys. I don't know what he did. They never say what he did, and I'm dying to know what this man did to be here today.
contest plea. This court does not get involved in plea negotiations. But Doctor, I know that you said that under advice of counsel, you did not add anything. Is there anything that you wish to say here today?
No.
Let me begin by saying I did have a chance to review not only the material from Mr. Newman and other sources, but I also saw the letter that you wrote and material that your attorney provided, in addition to material that My Michigan, which is a successor from Ascension, that they provided, and then what your employer or then employer provided.
And I don't know what ascension is. Okay, so he's a doctor. He got testimony from the hospital or the doctor's office that he worked at, but he wanted more testimony from this place called Ascension. They're in big trouble. But so is he.
That was very helpful to give me background. And I'll go further into that. What I did not get, though, was information from Ascension. Found Ascension to stonewall this court and its subpoena that it issued, and I will address Ascension to a show cause at a future date. Dr. Morrow, your conduct in the operating room was by all accounts reckless. I don't think I need to tell you that. I think you probably have gone through those days or that day and other days in your mind since that January day. I did read your letter, as I mentioned earlier. But that comes before me, even though at the heart of it, I believe is an employment matter. I believe it is a civil matter between you and those that were there that day. I was not there. I only have the statements made by Mr. Newman, statements that I read, the investigation done by the police department, and the limited information that I was provided through other sources. What I will note that since this incident, you have taken significant steps to address your behavior. Not only the letter of apology, which does lay out immediately thereafter, acknowledging the severity of your actions, where you also offered the expression of your remorse. And I don't doubt that the actions you took that day not only were not appropriate, it was also apparently a bad day for you, but you took it out on other people. While I commend you for taking the responsibility for your actions, and for not attempting to justify or minimize, did see that throughout, at least in the material that I was provided. You voluntarily saw counseling, the psychological examination. I did have a chance to review the examination, which I thought indicated the level of self-awareness and then the commitment to addressing the issue that led to this. Because of that, your actions and your efforts to rehabilitate, which I believe is a positive sign that you understand the importance of controlling your impulses and maintaining the professionalism. Although on that day and the day prior or other prior instances, which may have been or may not have been part of the what happened on January 24th, I think shows that that certainly your oath to your profession was not upheld on that day. As a physician, you hold a position of great responsibility, and I'm mindful that your actions have potential to affect the public's trust. That oath also includes the conviviality of those within the operating room and ensuring that there is a...
If my son called me mate, I'd be okay. If he called me brah, yeah, he'd be picking his teeth up.
A work environment that works for the patient, not against him. I also understand the professions, or the pressures rather, that is within your profession. Certainly the stereotypes of a surgeon were maybe highlighted that day, rightly or wrongly. You certainly didn't help that with the profession that you have. However, I do think this time that you've gone through has certainly struck you with humility and will certainly help you as you try to recreate and rebuild the career that you have. I had a chance to review some of your case studies. By all accounts, and then the material I reviewed, when you're on your game, you are an excellent physician and surgeon. The question is, you have to stay on your game. I think you've taken those steps. As I indicated earlier, I believe that this is more of a civil matter, and that should be held, should be addressed in the courts from a civil standpoint. on whether or not the care or the level of care that is required under the law was followed. If it was not, then you should be held accountable under the civil service, or the civil justice system, more so than the criminal justice system. Granted, you were charged with a pretty severe case. Looking at the material more in depth, I'm sure that maybe another charge could have come about. So let me do this. Given what you have done and the steps you have taken, I believe, and with regard, let me add a footnote, in the physical or the psychological examination that you took, towards the end, it was asked that maybe you be monitored for a period of time. Given the severity of what took place and the prior statements I made, the court is going to go along with, as amended, 6 months of supervised probation. With regard to the fine is a maximum of $100 plus the court costs, and that would be imposed as well. With regard to random and refrains and others, those will be gone over by Ms. Slaughter with you. Given that you are leaving this community, it's my understanding your reporting will be done via Zoom, and then updated reports on your counseling. The reason for the 6 months probation is to monitor you as you make your transition from Saginaw to a new area, and to assist in ensuring that you are on a course of recovery, recognizing those issues which you have to address and are addressing. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, just for my understanding, number 2 will be stricken, and then number 8, if you don't leave the area, you'll be continuing counseling. It would most likely be through Serenity Bay, which is free locally, or another similar to counseling, unless Serenity Bay allows him to do it by Zoom. That'd be okay with the court.
Yes, if Serenity does that. And Serenity did not provide that information to me. But we will get those notes to make sure that as he progresses,
What year is that cap?
that is covered. So whether it's Serenity or its equivalent, I don't have a problem with that, but the transition has to be
I'll ask.
through Ms. Slaughter. And is there anything else?
Nothing, thank you.
Again, I'm going to highlight that my concern is also with Ascension. Ascension has failed to follow, I think, information that I really would have helped, but I guess their failure will be addressed more in the civil. Thank you. Good luck, Doctor.
Did you select?
Almost every one of my server friends that I know have medical expenses that they will never, ever, ever, ever be able to pay off. And they never go to the doctor because they can't go to the doctor. Just to go to the doctor is too expensive. It just is. I don't even know. Like, so many people in America never, ever, ever go to a doctor. They can't go to a doctor.
Thanks for both counts. Both counts. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
Don't want to count two. Rather than repeating them, I need to do the same. Just to.
Yeah, but you struck number 2. You're saying you didn't struck.
Count 2.
Oh, yes, yeah. Yes, I understand.
Oh, okay.
As it relates to the second charge.
For the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Zachary Answer on behalf of Ms. Vasquez, who's present in the courtroom approaching the podium right now.
Okay.
Judges, the date and time set for an arraignment on 2 probation violations. I discussed the matter with Ms. Vasquez. We would acknowledge these, Judge, but I would like to speak to an explanation of a suggested recommendation going forward.
Sure. Okay.
Judge, we don't, Ms. Vasquez has not made any fines and cost payments at this time. I would just note, Judge, she resides in a household of 3 children and 2 adults, or 2 children and 3 adults? 2 children, 3 adults, Judge. She's the 4th adult, and she's the only person in the household who has an income. So, Judge, at this time, she simply is not able to pay it. I would ask that any non-mandatory fines either be held in abeyance or we consider a payment plan that is quite generous. As it relates to the second charge, Your Honor, it's my understanding that she's attended 23 of the 26 sessions and fell out of compliance when she was unable to afford the fees associated with attending the counseling session.
Since June, she fell out of compliance, or since, when did she stop going?
I did. I'm sorry.
You can go ahead and answer the question. When did you stop going?
It was in like June. I missed like 5 weeks in a row, and then I've gone the last 4 weeks.
You've gone the last 4 weeks?
Yes. So I just missed 5 in a row. That's why they sent it back to agent.
Judge, it's also my understanding that she was trying to reach out to the agent at some point. She was trying to reach out to Ms. Lyons, then Ms. Lyons was no longer her agent. There might have been a mix up there. It's also my understanding, Judge, based on my memory of having been in your court for a little while now, that Ms. Vasquez has not been here yet on a probation violation.
Yeah.
So I would just ask that she give it some extra time to comply with CSD counsel.
Yeah, no, I don't have a problem that she just continues with that. Let's go to well, 10:10, Miss Maria emailed that you didn't show up on 10:10.
Yes, I did speak to her on that. I asked her if I could go late because my children had conferences that day. And then I reached out to her again, telling her my son's teacher was late and running late, but I had already paid for that class. So it just went to the following week. But I was in contact with her.
We'll work with you on your time to pay. So you can set up a payment plan. As long as you're taking accountability on that, I don't have a problem with working with you. And I know the holidays are coming up and there's more pressures going on. So we'll start with the
I know I told my kids a million times, never, ever, ever, ever call an ambulance for me. Ever. I'm not getting in it. Do never call an ambulance. There's no way I can afford ever to ride in an ambulance.
60 days in which to set up a payment plan, and then need to complete. Your deferred status is what's at risk. Are you licensed? I forgot.
I am.
So this impacts that. Have they contacted you at all? Oh, they could. So I don't believe that I have a mandatory requirement in reporting. And it is a deferred, so.
Excuse me, Your Honor, she's scheduled to get off of probation on January the 12th.
I don't have a problem as long as you complete what is asked of you. Now, with regard to the fines, that won't impact whether or not you're discharged, okay? So
I have to make sure I have the 3 done by then.
all right. Good luck. Thank you. Anyone else here?
Yes, Your Honor, we will be able to proceed on Scarborough.
Ruby Sunshine. That's on file number 234630.
I think ours is up to 4K right now, or 8K, one of the two. Might as well just say 6 because it's somewhere in there.
Appearances for a record. This involves a
Okay, I guess he stopped the stream right there. Okay, let's see what we're doing. All right, we got one more. We have not seen her in a long time. And I actually got this for Raven, and Raven's not here. I went to Michigan. I'm pretty sure this is Michigan.
And you said your name for the record, sir? Okay. Looks like we're here for a termination of tenancy hearing. Hold on just a second. And it looks like this is our first appearance. At least I don't have any prior notes on the matter.
This is a first hearing.
All right, so did your parties have an opportunity to talk, Ms. Austin?
We did briefly, Your Honor. Mr. Allen first indicated he was waiting for his attorney, so I stopped talking to him.
All right, who's your attorney, sir? Oh, how'd you do that?
Stress.
Okay. Well, how do we know who to call? Have they filed an appeal? We have not seen anybody file an.
I would literally rather die. I would rather pass gently into the night than even think about getting airlifted. No, absolutely not.
Appearance in the case.
No, that's it, because right now I can't stay at my house because it's unsafe. Southfield told me don't stay there, so I moved all my stuff out, and the lock ain't been fixed yet.
Okay. Let's talk about what we're here for.
Okay.
I'm just going to pull up a copy of the original complaint here. So basically, the landlord has filed this as a complaint for possession to recover possession of the property. So that means right now they're not really seeking rent. They just want to get the unit or the home or whatever it is back in their possession. The complaint basically says that they served a proper notice to quit, which would be a 30-day notice on you. And if you don't have a lease, then the lease would be expired. That means you're likely doing a month-to-month tenancy. And that means that either party, you or the landlord, could serve a 30-day notice indicating that either you want to move or that they would like you to move out. So, and typically, that's just either party's right to do that.
There is a lease in this case, Your Honor.
But is it over?
It is not. It is not over.
So it's you're saying there's a breach of the lease?
There is, Your Honor.
And that's based upon what?
He's become very angry with staff and he yells at the staff.
Is that in the lease?
Yes.
What term is that? This is violated by yelling at the staff.
Paragraph 17.
Okay, well, I don't know that I have a copy of the lease.
And I can provide that. I can also provide a copy of the police report that was filed, Your Honor.
Yeah, I don't see a copy of it unless it's under correspondence. Let's see what this is. Attachment. All right, this says attachment. Tenant is, and this is part of, I guess, of the complaint. It's not the lease itself, but it says that the tenant is in material non-compliance.
That's true. If you don't pay your medical bills, even if they do put it on your credit report, when people look at your credit report, they don't care. They don't care about medical bills.
Paragraph 17, something about rules, crime-free community, or any other violation of law or breach of the supposed to say lease, it says less, that otherwise jeopardizes the health, safety, and the welfare of the landlord, agents, employees, or the tenants. Okay, sir, so this is what they're saying, that you did something pursuant to paragraph 17, which I haven't seen, but you probably have because you have the lease. So they're saying that you're doing some kind of conduct that either violates the law or breaches the lease or otherwise jeopardizes health, safety, or welfare of the landlord, its agents or employees, other tenants, occupants, guests, or invitees of the apartment community. You agree to treat them with respect and dignity at all times. Ensure that the guests and invitees do the same. violence, threats of violence, harassment, inappropriate language, inappropriate conduct, abuse, verbal or physical or electronic is strictly prohibited. Then they talk about criminal activities as part of this. Then they say that on September 18th, you came in upset about lock replacement, felt it wasn't done correctly, wanted the area director and maintenance supervisor to take a look and assist, to walk with you to look at the locks. As they were walking, you started yelling, screaming, and using profanity and pulled out a knife in a threatening manner. So after multiple times being asked to put it away, you did comply, and the staff rode the elevator to the third floor where your apartment was. They claimed that upon exiting, then you pulled out a different knife, it was larger than the first knife, and lock replacement was found to be intact and functioning, and that the lease was violated based on this incident. A police report was filed. So that is basically the basis that they're claiming that you breached that period.
Okay, for the record, he heard nothing of what she just said. She said clearly they want you out because you have broken your lease by pulling a knife on staff when they tried to fix your lock, and then pulling a bigger knife on staff when they checked to make sure it was fine. That's what we're here for.
The lease. Now let me say this, you don't have to tell me whether you did or not. This is just an allegation. If you want to have a trial as to whether or not you violated the lease, you're entitled to have that. Or if you're unhappy with living there because you're saying they're not doing things in, you could just move, which is what they want you to do, and everybody would be happy. It's up to you.
That was her court reporter, I think. Killing a dog? I don't know. I think she was opening a drawer. I don't think it happens again. If it does happen again, that noise, it's low, or it's a different, sort of different. But when I first heard that, I found my dog immediately. I said, where's my dog? My dog just died.
I can show you pictures. My lock's still ain't fixed.
Okay, sorry. But my question is, they just want you to move. Do you just want to move away from this circumstance, go someplace where your lock is fixed? Or do you want to have a trial just because you want to stay in this environment?
No, I mean, no. I wanted to stay, but they're not doing their work. On the report, they said everything is good. I can show you the pictures. Everything is not good.
Yeah, but here, let me tell you this. The trial is not really on repair of the premises. The trial would be on whether they have a right to take the unit back from you. So this is not a non-payment of rent case where you're...
Did you check on Rambo while you were back there? Is Rambo okay?
Alleging, and you got a counter complaint that the premises are damaged, and then we could look and see if they are, or if you're entitled to some rent set off or abatement. That's not what this is about. They just want to get the apartment back.
If I go to court,
well, you are in court.
I'm saying
if you have a trial.
Yeah, trial. Trial. If I go to trial, and
you could win. If you win,
I know I can.
Well, if you win and it's determined, I have to decide if you breached any part of the lease.
Okay.
That's the only issue here. They've alleged what part they think that they're trying to evict you on. I have to then hear evidence from either side or both. You don't have to present anything, but you could. Yeah. And then I would have to listen and decide whether or not this lease is the lease, first of all, and I don't think anybody would contest this is the lease, and whether or not that provision has been broken by whatever evidence that I hear. And if I decide that that wasn't enough to breach that part of the contract, then of course, they wouldn't have a basis to evict you. You could stay. If I decide that they do have a basis to allege that this has been breached, then I find that they are correct and they have a basis to evict you, and then you have to move. That's what the trial would be about.
And if you find in my case, they're not doing their work, then I win?
No, this is not about that.
Okay.
This is just about whether you did what they said you did in order to breach the lease. Whether you pulled a knife and all that other and was yelling.
He does not understand what she's saying.
And whatever they said you were doing, which they claim violates the provisions of the lease, which I'm not saying. So that's the only thing this trial is about. So if I found that you did not do those things, you could then stay at the premises. That would be what you get out of this. They could not evict you.
Can they fix my lock?
Well, that's between you and them.
No,
This is not that kind of case. But, you know,
Yo, if I win, can they change my lock?
Yeah.
I take it to trial.
Hi,
They
Terry.
should fix the lock. I mean, that's part of, you know, to make the premises
You
habitable.
said trial or court, you said it's different. I want to take it.
You want to have a trial on whether or not you should be evicted
Yeah, because I don't
because
want nobody to lie on me.
you were cursing or whatever.
No, they was cussing at me. They was cussing at me.
Sir, you listen, I don't know. I wasn't there. That would be what the trial would be for. They would have
Oh,
to.
they got cameras too, so.
Yeah, well, you know what? You could bring your lawyer. You could subpoena, get their camera footage.
Yeah.
But you got to do all that.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
You could call witnesses. You could subpoena whatever witnesses you want to testify on your behalf if you want to do that. You could call them as witnesses if that's what you really want to do. So you would like a trial.
Yeah, and then I'm already moved up.
Hi, Terry.
No. We don't have a trial if you're already moved.
Well, I got some stuff.
Sir, listen. If you've already moved out, why would we have a trial on whether they should take it?
No, I just don't like nobody lying.
Listen.
All right, so
We're not going to waste court resources if you've already moved. They want you to move.
Okay, so how long?
And if you want to move and you've already done that.
How long do I got to get,
You said, when you say move, you mean you still have things in these?
yeah, this trash.
So you want to clean up?
I cleaned up. I just got to throw it out. That's it. I'm done.
Okay.
Let's skip the calendar. Let's do a map. I think I should do a map. Guys, you know what happened today at work? I was so mad. So mad. I stopped talking to the owner and the other server for at least 4 minutes because I was so mad. We're standing at our counter right behind the bar, and we just opened. It's like 9:45 a.m. and they start talking about something, and they said north. He said north. I don't remember why. It doesn't matter, right? So I said, wait, hold on, guys, hold on. I went to the younger one first. I said, can you please point northeast for me right now, northeast? And he just pointed. And then I asked the owner who was there, I was like, Dean, point northeast for me. Just tell me where northeast is. And he pointed to the exact same damn spot. I said, how do you know that was northeast? How did you do that? And then they started saying, like, well, 283 goes this way and 22 goes this way and Route 30 goes and this way. So there you go. That's northeast. I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm not talking to you guys no more. So yeah, no calendar. We're going to do map instead of map. Court Watcher, thank you so much again. I'm asleep right now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, if you do that, they can dismiss the case.
All right, so when I get my deposit back, do I talk to them?
No, doesn't work like that. Listen to me. You need to go online. There is a document that you can pull up. You can Google it. Say the name of it. It's produced by the Michigan legislature. It is called a practical guide for tenants and landlords. Every tenant that's rented anything.
Yes. Members or Viber, the ladies. No, we need a good Viber ladies. No, we need a good name. And we just want pictures from the Vibers, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I went out to eat with Allie, Linus, the judge, Ramona, and Victoria, right? And we walk into the when you walk into the restaurant, you walk in one door, but if you keep going straight, there's another door. Okay. And then you can walk into the restaurant. So I walk in, we sit down, we're eating and everything. We're done. We get up, we leave, and I go, I'm about to leave the restaurant. I'm in the front. I don't know why I'm in the front. Never put me in the front. I'm in the front, and I get to that part, and I'm looking, and I'm like, Allie, Allie, where's the door? Which one is the door? So I start to turn left, and she's like, no, go to the store. But that's why I have kids, because I always pick the wrong direction when I'm going somewhere and I don't know where I'm going. I'm like, okay, this side looks good. And my kids are always like, no, Mom, we've lived here all our lives. You don't know how to get home yet. I'm working on it. It was 2 front doors. Yep, 2 front doors. The back doors were different.
Out of habits. It's just like that booklet that they still have at the Secretary of State called What Every Driver Must Know. And that booklet helps you to learn everything you need to know about driving. This tells you everything you need to know about what a landlord's responsibility is and what your responsibility as a tenant is. And it goes over everything, including security deposits, your duty, what you have to do in order to get your security deposit back. You just don't get your security deposit back. You have to move out. You have to give them an forwarding address within 4 days of your move in writing. Then they can do a walkthrough with you, send you the damages list. If there's no damages, if there's no unpaid rent, typically they give you your security deposit back. It's just that simple. If there are damages and you've done what you need to do, then they have to sue you to keep the security deposit. If it's over and above unpaid rent.
I walked through it myself, so they walked through it together. I hope they don't say I broke the law.
Well, sir, I don't know what they're going to say. I just know you've probably made some type of a maintenance request, which they should have on file, that you've requested that prior to your moving out. So, when are you planning on going back to getting the rest of your belongings?
What's today, Thursday? Right today. Friday.
Okay, so tomorrow is Friday.
Yeah.
So do you think you'll have them out by this Monday?
Yeah. Monday.
So that would be Monday the 18th.
Yeah.
All right. So what we could do is we could adjourn this date for you to ensure
You're one of them.
out and everything is out. If he's moved out and turned in the key, you gotta turn the key.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
$20 is $20.
You're still considered to have possession if you don't turn the key back. And leave your address
I love that.
to them. And then on the date that we're supposed to come back, she can dismiss the case because there's no point of moving forward with a case if you're already out. So then you don't have to worry about them fixing anything. And if there's any other damages, such as unpaid rent, or they say, there's something beyond normal wear and tear that was wrong with the place, they will give you that list of problems. You can see what that is.
Kelly, do you know how many times I've driven on I-95? A billion. And that road does not just go straight. It goes. So sometimes you're facing east, sometimes you're facing west, and sometimes you're facing north. I don't think you ever face south if you're going up. But you definitely face east and west at sometimes.
And then they would have to sue you to bring in a different kind of case if they want to collect that money. Okay? Are there any questions about that?
This is why we can't have nice things.
Okay, so let's get an adjourn day.
I love Oktoberfest. It's very yummy. Oh,
Okay,
dog.
we don't have a clerk. Where is she? All right.
Propositioned. I was propositioned twice yesterday, but it was just my bangs. 2 different people. Drunk people are funny sometimes.
just have one more, and I will be checking it.
They needed me next door to come and do something.
My judgment.
She never had a party. What did you need?
We just need a date, adjourn date for her to check to see if he's moved out.
I have to look at it.
He's done by Monday. So if you want to give us a date sometime, next week, that's fine.
Court's available November 21st at 1:30.
Okay, sir. November 21st at 1:30.
I didn't copy that, sorry.
I didn't discuss. Oh.
But let's say this. If there's any question, come on November 21st at 1:30. If you've talked to the lawyer and she's verified, you can do a dismiss. That means you sign it, she signs it. The case gets dismissed before the 21st. Nobody needs to come back. And the only thing they need to do is verify that you're moved out.
Just have the key.
And have the keys in, sir. Right. Okay.
I gotta say something too.
Excuse me. You want
My young,
to buy?
the my young. No, I'm saying, I didn't know I had this.
No. Do you want your notice now?
Yeah, I'm just grabbing my stuff.
Okay, yeah, she'll give you notice. And we'll see you back, or maybe not, November 21st at 1:30.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Okay, that completes the matter.
Okay. All right. All right. For me, sleeping most of the day, that was fine. I was worried about nothing. I was very stressed for like 6 seconds while I was awake. Now, okay. So there was a day this week. Please don't ask me which day. Fleischer, he was up and running, and then something happened, and he had to shut the feed down and started a new feed, a new live stream. So we saw the second half, the new one that he started earlier this week. So now we're going to watch the first part.
This is fine. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is good. Okay, I need to show you something real quick. Good morning, Mr. Eubanks. Mr. Eubanks, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine because of the high blow. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Okay. November 6, 2024, the officer initiated a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle after observing it failed to stop at a red traffic signal. The defendant was the sole occupant of the motor vehicle, and upon contact, the officer observed slurred speech, red glassy eyes, and an odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted to drinking and advised that he had 2 drinks consisting of a couple Captain Morgan's and 1 Bud Light, and advised one of the Captain Morgan's was a double shot. A standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN was unable to be completed because the defendant continued to talk during the exam and failed to follow instructions and leaned towards the officer. Walk and turns 8 out of 8, 1 leg stand 4 out of 4, and GICs were red, and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.247 and 0.242.
Okay, any prior to DWIs?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Eubanks, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. If I find that you're consuming any alcohol from any source, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand? Yes. I'm also ordering you not to use prescriptive medication unless you have, or illegal controlled medication unless it's prescribed. But understand, if you take too much, it can still inebriate you, even if it's prescribed. So just be careful. Do you understand? Yes. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You said no prior to DWIs?
No prior to DWIs.
All right. The length of what we're going to do is just no drugs, no alcohol. I don't want to have to put a device on you, so just don't use and you'll be fine. You have a great lawyer. Ms. Carpenter will take care of you. Just listen to her. I'll waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel. She'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If she tells me she can't get a hold of you, then I will issue a warrant for your arrest. We'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you guys with top for your bond conditions, and then you guys are good to go. All right?
Your Honor.
Okay, guys. Thanks. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, Judge Case 1, Alan, come on up.
Absolutely, CJ. I already do.
How old are you, Mr. Allen? PR bond after PR bond, and you still can't show up. Your case is 515 days old. I want to express my disappointment and I'm going to tell you now, we are done with catch and release. Do you understand? We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. Officers were dispatched regarding an assault in progress report call. The complainant advised she is the girlfriend of the defendant of 2 years. The complainant stated she was invited by the defendant to his apartment, which told her to bring their son since it was his birthday. The complainant stated she and her son spent the night at the defendant's apartment, but the defendant started an argument with the complainant after she told him that they were about to leave. The complainant stated that she had the baby in her hands when the defendant forcefully grabbed the baby out of her hands and then with his left hand slapped the complainant on her right side of her jaw, causing pain.
You guys have the rip done? Do we know? Does she want to have contact with him?
To get in contact with the complainant. The number is out of service and there's nothing in TOO, so I assigned it to our investigator team.
Mr. Allen, you said you're how old? 22. What are you doing in life now? Working.
17.
Did you graduate from high school? That's where we're going to start first thing. Right now, the first
Is it Winarchy? Is that right? Winarchy?
thing I'm going to do is I'm sending you for a drug test because I want to make sure that there's nothing that's being used. I'm ordering you not to use any alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to test you like crazy. If I find that you're using marijuana or anything like that, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm sending you for a drug test. If you fail to test, if you fail to come back, your case is already 515 days old and we've given you two PR bonds. Do you think you will get a third?
Do you think I want a freaking camera ever, ever? Never. I never, ever want the camera. If I could do every stream without the camera, I would. It was great. I was like, seriously, peanut butter in my hair. You know, I have PJs on, kick back. It was dark. Everything was dark. And I was just doing my stream. And now I have a camera. You can take one picture.
You're skirting a very thin line now, Mr. Allen. If you miss court again, it's really, really not going to go well. Do you understand? I'm sending you for a test now. You're to test and come right back, and then we'll talk about your lawyer situation. But the first thing we're going to do is start working on getting your GED. So we'll have you come back in 2 weeks to show you or to show me what you have done to start working on your GED. Do you understand? Take a seat for me.
You don't have to wait.
Can you
I'm
go ahead and
always
reach out to
dancing.
the Mac too, please?
Always.
All right, Judge, the next one is page 14, Martinez, come on up.
Yes.
Toronto.
Yo, this camera has filters, like lots of them. It's great.
Do we have a MOAP in place? Do you know?
Mr. Allen?
It's probably been long expired. I'm gonna redo it.
Why can't a certain religion that I'm not going to say because I'm not getting into religion here, but why can't that one religion ever have sex? Because people might think they're dancing. Oh.
It's expired, Your Honor.
Yeah, well, so do you need them to file a new one or can we just? 'Cause I want to do another one. Okay, can you file another one?
Yes, sir.
Do you mind? Okay. Vic, who do we have here?
This is page 14, Martinez.
Good morning, Mr. Martinez.
Morning, Your Honor.
Mr.
Dancing
Martinez,
always
you're charged with burglary of a motor vehicle. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
The officer was dispatched to an apartment in Harris County, Texas. The complainant reported that he heard his vehicle car alarm going off and went outside. When he came outside, he saw the defendant closing the door of his vehicle, and the complainant observed his headphones in the defendant's phone pocket and began recording the defendant. The complainant was able to take the headphones from the defendant and followed him to a nearby apartment unit where the defendant went inside. The complainant reported to the officers that there was money missing from his car as well. The officers reviewed the video and knocked on the defendant's door. The defendant stated he was only standing near the complainant's vehicle when the alarm went off.
Will you read the beginning again, please? I zoned out.
So the officers dispatched to an apartment in Harris County, Texas, and the complainant reported he heard his vehicle car alarm going off and went outside. The complainant went outside, saw the defendant closing the door of his vehicle, and the complainant observed his headphones in the defendant's pocket and began recording the defendant.
Got it. Okay. So is this gentleman on probation in court 7?
No, Judge, it's already over. It's expired. I didn't see a term order. I didn't see any extensions.
So he's technically still on that, right? If there's no termination order, he's still on.
Well, the expiration date was 2022, March or May.
Is that right, Shatori?
Yes, I saw March 14th, 2022.
I have recordings, lots of recordings.
2-year mark.
Call me Karen.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a disabled veteran. I collect 70% service connected PTSD. I am in the process of going to get enrolled into college, ACC.
Sending you for a drug and alcohol test, Mr. Martinez. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. You're to come back and then we will talk about your lawyer's situation. As it stands now, I don't want you to have contact with the complaining witness and not to go within 200 feet of where he lives or where he works or where his car is. Do you understand?
Go to bed or I will stop this stream right now for everybody.
If I find that you violate this law or violate these conditions, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Mr. Martinez, I want you to understand that I'm going to protect every single person of Harris County, every piece of property of Harris County in every way that I can. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you don't have anyone to pony up $5,000 to $10,000 in a bond for you, what happens? You'll be stuck like Chuck in there until this thing is over with. So you need to consider that when you're out there in the free world. If I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? Because if you think to yourself and you could end up going to jail, don't do it. Do you understand?
I understand.
Okay. I will have you take a seat. I'm saying.
Shauna, I leave my car unlocked, but I promise you, I could put $1 million in the back seat and ain't nobody gonna break into my car ever. If they do, they would leave money.
Sending you for a drug test, you're to come right back. If you fail the test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, take a seat for me.
All right, next judge is page 26. Walton, come on up.
Good morning, Mr. Walton. Mr. Walton, you're charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Come back again.
On November 5th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance weapons call at an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer observed the defendant walking with the handle of a handgun hanging out of the defendant's left pants pocket, and the officer detained the defendant. The officer observed the defendant to be carrying a firearm recklessly on his person, unsecured without a holster in the public.
All right. Okay, Mr. Walton, I'm going to find that there is probable cause to go forward with the case. How old are you, sir?
I'm 26.
What do you do for a living?
I work with mentally challenged and autistic clients.
Is it a full-time job?
Yes, sir.
How much money do you make a month?
Around 20.
Is it the first time? See, guys, when people comment on my videos, I feel like they're here. I didn't know this was your first time. I read your comments.
600 a month.
Who do you live with? Are you able to find a lawyer? Does he have any pri- What do you think?
I just honestly, the situation.
No. I don't want to talk about the case. We're only talking about your lawyer situation. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer or not?
At this time, I don't know. It depends on the amount.
I'll have you fill out an application. I'll take a look at it. I'm not going to put any conditions on your bond. Just be careful.
Yes, sir.
Right. Don't pick up a new case. I'm not asking much from you. I'm not, like I said, no conditions. Don't pick up the case. Be good out there, and then you'll be fine with us. All right? Okay. Mind giving an application?
Guess who else showed up in my comments recently? I haven't heard from him in so long.
Next judge is case
Cronin.
12.
Yeah.
Jones, come on up.
Mr. Jones.
I absolutely could never, ever, ever, ever work for Judge Fleischer. I would love to. It would be amazing to work in his courtroom. But could you imagine if you did something wrong, like you wrote your reports wrong, or because if you file stuff wrong in a court, that's pretty bad. Like you should be reprimanded. But could you imagine walking into his office and he's tapping that pen? No, I would run home screaming.
You were on bond for a case, and now you've picked up a new case. You've now picked up an unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir. On November 6th, 2024, the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle at 12:11 a.m. after observing it disregard a red light and traveling without headlights or taillights on, as well as discovering the vehicle had expired license plates. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed a small plastic baggie containing 0.5 grams of marijuana in plain view of the dashboard of the motor vehicle and within reach of the defendant. The defendant advised he had a weapon under his driver's seat, and a search allowed the officer to recover an unholstered black Glock with a pistol magazine and an unfired round in the chamber.
What is the one thing that I asked you not to do, Mr. Jones?
No file.
And now you've picked up a new case. Sorry, dude. That's it. We will notify your lawyer now. We'll have him come and we'll have you speak to you. Okay? It goes with you. All right.
Judge, I've emailed Connor, who's attached to.
Okay, just don't send him down to Stephen. Let's wait for Connor to get here so we can talk.
That's the last arraignment for now.
Eubanks?
I don't understand what that means. With an hour to spare. Is that, oh, that's French. He's speaking French up in here. I forgot I need to fast forward it. I have a job to do. It's the chat, man. The chat gets me every time.
Good morning, Mr. McCauley. Mr. McCauley, you're charged with terroristic threat.
Let's start at the beginning. What is a quarter deck? Okay, I get deck. Upper deck, lower deck, I don't know. What is a Jen? You too. I get enough of that. I get so much of it. I made a banner. No, but what is a quarter deck? Is there a half deck, a full deck? Is there a 1/16 deck? Or is quarter not like a quarter, a half, 3/4? Is quarter like a coin?
This is of a family or household member. As a result, that kicks it up to a Class A misdemeanor, so you're facing up
Monday or Tuesday.
to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Just to confirm, this is McCauley?
McCall.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay.
On November 6th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to 8100 Rivers Drive in regard to a motor vehicle crash. Upon arrival, the officer was approached by the complainant, who stated that the defendant, who she was in a dating relationship with, threatened to kill her, causing her to fear for her life. The complainant advised that on the day of the incident, the defendant got into a verbal argument with the complainant. The defendant then began hitting the steering wheel and cursing at the complainant, and told the complainant he was going to kill her. This threat was also heard by another witness in the car. The complainant advised she believes the defendant is capable of carrying out this threat, and the complainant also advised the crash occurred because the defendant was hitting the steering wheel and he crashed into another motor vehicle.
Mr. McCauley, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Mr. McCauley has significant criminal history and significant dangerous criminal history, and what I see that he also may be on felony probation as it is.
Yes. I tried contacting the complaining witness. It looks like her number is disconnected. I tried twice. So
Do we have prior assaults? Do we have any against the same complaining witness? Have you seen?
No, Your Honor, it doesn't appear so.
Mr. McCauley, I want you to understand something, that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect every single person of Harris County. I don't care who they are. I don't care what color they are. I don't care how tall they are. Every person of Harris County, I will protect. And if that means putting you in custody with an extremely high bond, I will do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm ordering you not to have contact with this person whatsoever for any reason, and I'm now entering in what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Ms. DeVoe as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot stalk, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where
Listen. No. We don't bar people from bars. No. We barely even flag people.
she lives or where she works.
We don't let them drive, but there's Uber.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
No one can authorize you to violate this. So if someone were to call and say, hey man, come to this address, and she's there and it's against a protected address, you're still in violation of this order for protection. If you violate it, the state can and will file additional charges against you, a violation of protected order, and then things will really go sideways quick. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know if you're on felony probation, but if you are, you got to be very, very careful because it's very possible warrant issues at any time. You understand?
Sir.
What do you do for a living?
I'm unemployed right now. I'm looking for a job.
Why are you unemployed?
I've been having to go to a class.
You've been what?
I've been having to go to a class and do community service.
How does that prevent you from having a job?
The class is from 9 to 12, and I was still looking.
We still don't bar someone from a bar. Nope, it's unbar. You unbar people from bars.
For a job before I was arrested.
When is the last time you've had a full-time job?
Last year.
How do you eat? How do you eat?
I have family that helps me.
Dude, it's time
That sounds like a Friday night for me.
to pull your weight. You need to get a full-time job.
Yes, sir.
I'm also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to use or consume illegal drugs or alcohol, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, I will put you into custody. You will not get any more power bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm not asking much, man. I'm just asking you to be nice. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Because if not, there could be a lot to pay. So don't worry about, just, we'll have him sign them up, but don't worry because we'll have a monitor to make sure he's not
Oh,
using.
no. I do NATO fleets on Thursdays.
So, I need you to fill out an application for me to see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer. I need to know everything about you. Don't just put zeros because I'm going to send it back to you. I need to know everything about you. Do you understand, Mr. McCauley?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, he'll give you an application. I'm going to have you also come up here, sign the order for protection. We'll have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until we excuse you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Council for reset.
Yes. Oh, put it in the life stories. Put it in the life stories. Oops, my bad. Hold on, guys. I forgot my job again. I'm watching chat. It's so good. Wow, Judge has a late docket.
Rare.
I'm definitely putting that in. I'm making a short with Victoria, but I'm definitely putting this in, right?
Oh, so she just has
I rewound it
service left.
a while, so I
Just
get it
wave
all.
And it's just, you know, what good, no, just
And then
let her know that, is it restitution?
no
No,
restitution.
just let her know. I mean, we can't really terminate, right?
No.
No, you
it's a
can't,
DWI.
right? So, but just, at least that's something,
Okay.
so,
And then the last one, he just absconded.
issue warrants.
Okay.
No,
That's
if
it.
they abscond warrant, Brandon, come on up.
I have a off docket arraignment. It's set for Friday. I can't do it Friday.
No, let's do it. Yeah, for sure. Victoria, you ready?
Thanks a lot, Brandon.
Christopher
Allen?
Rare.
77.
Did you say 253?
Yes, sir.
Ooh,
7747.
that's an old case.
You told me you were. I'll do that.
You said 2537747?
Yes, sir.
Are you Anthony Reyes?
Yes, sir.
Shh. Mr. Reyes, you're charged with deadly conduct. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
On November 8th, 2024, the officers were working in undercover capacity while conducting surveillance on several vehicles that were engaged in a parking lot takeover at 12300 North Freeway. The officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle. After observing it do 4 donuts in the parking lot while there was an individual sitting in the bed of the truck who appeared to almost fall out. The defendant admitted to doing the donuts.
Whoa. There's a truck? And you're telling me there's someone in the back of the truck?
The truck, Your Honor.
They doing donuts?
4 donuts, Your Honor.
Fozzie, you owe me $350 for not being in chat all day.
And the officers made contact with the complainant, the truck passenger, who advised she was worried about falling out.
Guys, I love Nan so much. I'm so glad you're here, Nan.
Mr. Reyes, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. You know, have you ever seen the movie Teen Wolf? Okay. In the movie, in Teen Wolf, there's a part in the movie where they're in a van and then they get on top of the van and they do this surfing, right? I had a friend in high school, because that's when the movie came out, right? And one of the big, you know, it was a great movie, but one of the bad parts of the movie is that many people tried to emulate getting on a car, doing the surfing thing while they're driving down the road. I had a friend that lost his life trying to do that surfing. Imagine same thing here, where someone gets out, falls out, cracks their cranium open and die. What happens? Don't say anything. I want you to think.
Cranium is their head area, guys.
Of what would happen in the event that you're doing donuts, someone flies out and dies. What would be the charge?
Yo, stop encouraging him. Jeez, I work enough. I think I put in enough hours, guys. Don't encourage him.
Not felony.
Not just a felony. Murder.
Facts. Can't he call them car spinny things? I don't want to eat car spinny things.
I don't want you driving, Mr. Reyes. I'm making it the condition of your bond that you are not to drive. Do you understand me? You'll be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you get into a car and drive. Do you understand? This is an affidavit that you're promising me. And I don't care if Jesus comes down and needs to ride to church. We will have issues if you get into a car and drive. Do you understand? You know, Mr. Reyes, this life, it's not a long one. It's a very short one. And it can be a great life where you do well in school, go far in life, buy nice things, have nice cars, supermodel wife, great kids, lavish vacations in Monaco. Or it can be a rotten hell of an existence where you never have money. You're in and out of custody, where you can't even afford to go to a dentist, where you have teeth falling out. You can't even fix a root canal.
I can't
But
fix a
one,
root canal.
think before you act. Think before you speak. Because you may never get a second chance.
What was that movie with Tom Hanks, Alone on the Island with Wilson? He fixed the root canal really good with the ice skate.
You understand? You now have that chance. Do with it well, because if I find that you're a danger to my public, I will do everything in my power to protect the public at all costs. Do you understand? You have a lawyer, it's your responsibility to stay in touch with Brandon. He will tell you if and when you have to come back to court, don't drive. If you drove here, you may not drive home. Do you understand? You pick up a new case, you become a danger. How old are you?
19.
What are you doing with yourself these days?
With construction.
Be careful, Mr. Reyes. You're walking a thin line. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Brandon.
Thank you, Judge.
That way.
Judge, was that gonna be state bond conditions or?
Gee, yeah, I guess, can you file just no driving, and then I'm gonna put on there no weapons as well. Just no weapons as well, Mr. Reyes. You're not allowed to have a weapon. Okay. Connor.
Hey, Judge.
Hey, babe.
First, Oriel Dixon. This is a case where we wanted her to get her GED. She is in a GED course. She's
great. Good.
So she never finished the 9th grade, so she is taking a long time to study and everything. She just finished. She just did her the language arts test yesterday.
She here?
Yeah, she's.
Come up, Miss Dixon.
But yeah, she didn't finish the 9th grade, so she's having difficulty just studying and keeping everything.
How's it going? Tell me about yourself. How's it?
I just went to a GED class, like language arts, and I took it. I made a 125. That's not a passing score. Passing score was 145.
You're close, right? You're 10 points off. Okay, that's great. You're getting there. Just, you have to remember, when you're doing these classes, you have to study. Don't just go in there thinking that you're going to pass the test. No, you get books, right?
Oh, well, they give us, like, it's online, but it's like the same.
Are you able to study before you take the test?
Yeah, I studied.
You have to. Just like any test beforehand, you got to study so you know what the test is going to be on, so you know what questions they are, and you can be prepared.
I studied for 3 pregnancy tests and did well.
Yes, sir.
What else have you been doing, Ms. Dixon?
She also has a job interview this afternoon at HEB.
Okay, great. It's a great company to work for. You can make a lot of money and you can move up really high. I mean, there's so much advancement in HEB. If you put your heart and soul to it and you do well, you can, I mean, the sky's the limit with HEB. They're so great, right? As opposed to, and I'm not dogging in fast food, but there's only so much advancement in fast food. But if you do well in HEB, you can be running your own store and they make like 150,
Okay, but I ain't doing heroin.
you run your own store, whew, you can make tons of money. But you have to get your education first, because
It's about time you get to work, CJ. I spoke to your husband about you not working.
it's someone with a high school diploma versus someone with not a high school diploma. They're going to run circles around you. You may not get a better position just because of the high school diploma. So what are we going to do next with it?
I'm still working on getting a like, I'm gonna take it, cause we could take it again. So I'm gonna take it again, and then I'm gonna take the rest
I'm
of
not
it.
setting this case off too far. I want to know, I'm keeping you close. I want to make sure that you're doing well. So when's going to be the next test? No, we'll see what we can. Hey, Shatori, what can we do about the free, what's it called? Yeah. We're going to give you paperwork now so you can get it done for free. Okay. We have a long list of providers that can help you get it free. We need to start working on it. Do you have an offer on this case now, or where are we going?
It's a PTI, complete GED, and case dismissed.
The minute you get your GED, this case gets dismissed. So that's the only thing that you have to do. So let's set it off a week, okay? And I want to know what you've done to get into a GED curriculum in the class, okay? We're not gonna, I mean, really, you're in this thing until you get your GED. That's all you got to do. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so let's set it off a week. She's gonna give you stuff so we can get it done for free, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
For sure. Thanks, Connor. Good job, man. And good job, Miss Dixon. Keep it up. Sylvia.
I don't.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How about yourself?
Okay, what's new?
Judge, I'm here on Mr. Guillermo Gonzalez. This is my client that's in ICE custody. He is still in ICE custody. He's going to be having his bond hearing on November the 21st before the immigration judge.
Okay.
And I just need you to.
He really is a unicorn. He really, really, really is a unicorn. He's just so good. So even if you don't watch court videos, which is crazy, I know. If you watch someone who's really, really good at their job, it's just fun to watch. Any job, pick a job. It doesn't matter. Judge Fleischer is so good at his job and so good with talking to people.
To give me a date.
Okay,
come back.
he's on docket today, right? Yeah. I see.
Yes, Your Honor, he is.
Okay, do you want the day after?
I bet you, though, he could be pick a different profession and he would be good at that profession and we would enjoy watching him. Well, maybe not like police officer. I can't see him. I can't see him, chasing down someone who just jumped out of a 70-mile-per-hour car and chasing him down and be like, "Are you ready, punk?" No. But any job where he has to talk to people, he would be great at.
Or what do you want?
The day after will be Friday the 22nd. Is that okay with you?
No,
That's
I know, no,
No.
because then, yeah,
That-
Victoria's
that's
gonna get upset. So how
Thanksgiving,
about
I
that
think.
Monday?
Sure, Your Honor. Monday will be fine.
I bet if he
So
put
if
his
he bonds
mind to
out,
it,
Sylvia, he needs to be,
I bet if he had trained there instead of here, while you were getting your teeth done, he would make you feel amazing and it would be fine. Oh, I don't know if he has a psych degree. I mean, doesn't everybody have a psych degree? Yeah, any job where he had to manage people.
here for bond conditions immediately thereafter.
Yes,
Okay?
Your Honor.
And then after
Yes,
that,
sir.
we'll waive the appearance and you just do your thing, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Absolutely. We will be there on the 25th. Okay.
Do
Thank
you
you.
do you anticipate getting it?
I believe so, Your Honor. I talked to his immigration attorney yesterday, and she said that she's expecting that he'll get a bond in immigration. But either way, I'll be here on the 25th, and I'll let you know what happened there.
Okay. And yeah, that's it, bottom of page 9. So he has a bond hearing on the immigration, and so,
The Monday after?
yeah,
So 11:25?
yeah. Okay, Sylvia, thanks.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Victoria.
fun.
Have a great day. Bye. May I be
Ciao.
excused, Your Honor? May I be excused, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks.
Thank you.
Sorry, I grabbed another beer. Okay, guys, we did it. We made it to the end. I have to hurry and make another Kelly video or everybody's going to just kill me. It's just those two trips to Texas took a lot out of me, and I stopped my Kelly videos to try to catch up on everything else. So, yeah, Nan, I'm gonna start Googling more. Googling more. Oh, well, whatever. Guys, thank you so much for coming out. Darkest, it was great to see you. I don't even know if you're still here, but it was great to see you. You should really start talking to Drunken Smurf more because you guys would get off famously, very much so. Thanks, Monica. Kelly, love you. Hey, Crystal. Michael, you made it to the end? That's crazy. It feels like I need to do more because Michael is still here. Lori, please. Lori, why are you still here? Lori, go to sleep. Anybody who's half asleep right now that I just screamed into your ear, I'm sorry, but she made me really mad. See what you made me do? I appreciate you coming out. I really do. I got a promotion in American courts. Woohoo! I'm definitely going to be in American courts tonight because I have off work for once. Yes. Casey, love you. KS, love you. Carrie, if you're watching our replay, love you. B24, I always love you. You know that. Ms. Glow, I love you. So, Cheeks and Sherry's, thank you so much. Oh, God, you know that you can. Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I sent you a picture. Did you see the picture? Sent me a message. Come here. Come here, Victoria. I got something for you. I got two things for you, Victoria. You have a great day too, John. And we get to see Judge Fleischer again today in a couple hours. It's been a long weekend, huh? Without the judge. Victoria, did you see the Victoria, not you though. Can you make sure Michael sees the short I made for him today? It's important. I made a short for Michael today. So make sure Michael sees it. Don't make me talk to him. Why? Why do I have to do a calendar? Why? Do you guys hate me? Why? How comes every day I get in here I have to do something I definitely don't want to do for no reason? I just want to do court videos. Fine, a calendar. Fine. You know what I'm going to do for the calendar? Oh, yeah, I got a great idea. I'm going to do the best food for every month. I'm going to have a picture of me eating the best food that you should have for every month. January, pork and sauerkraut. February, chocolate covered strawberries. March, I'm thinking ham. Or would ham be better for April? March, shepherd's pie. April, ham. May. Screw it, spaghetti. Shepherd's pie or corned beef. Maybe I'll do both. Yeah, April is ham. All right, guys, find my outro and get to the Kelly videos. Get to getting. I need to get to getting. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Got these lights that goes digital dreams. Through the screen, her blue eyes gleam. Wicked humor, sharp as a knife. Her stream sparks electric light. Late night when the world sleeps, she's the friend that always keeps. Giggles roll like thunder loud. She stands out in any crowd. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom. Eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted sharp. In a way, there's no alarm. into the night. Her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Her eyes mirror a sky so blue. In her jokes, there's a truth so true. With each dream, she brings the light, turns dark days into bright. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom, eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted charm, in a way there's no alarm. Streaming tales late into the night, her laughter feels just right. Even when my world turns gray, with a giggle, she lights the way. Kathy's laugh cuts through the gloom, eyes blue like a summer's bloom. Her humor dark and twisted charm, in a way there's no alarm.
Yo, Victoria didn't lie to me. She did send me a message. And I thought she was messing with me. See, you gave me PTSD now.